at American Pastor 777. At American Pastor 777. It's on YouTube. Go there, check out my videos. I have American Pastor 1 and some other stuff. I am bringing you a book called 2028, November 4th. Now, I said I would give you all a little bit of a video as I'm bringing out another video a little bit later. As you can see, I'm not going to give you the information, but you can tell this is a checkbook. You can see that this is a check. You can say it's a lottery ticket. You can say it is a credit card. What is it? The American Heritage Check to all the Americans who are U.S. citizen born from 18 and up will receive a $1 million heritage check. The patriots of the United States of America, everyone who is willing to sign the United States Constitution, every one of you, that Sharia law has no place in America. That $1 million you will see. You get to build new buildings. You get to have the boat of your dreams. You get to have the car of your dreams. You get to put the money and the currency wherever you want. The American Heritage Check. It will go out once. Once. You get that $1 million. But listen to me. As much as you hit in the lotteries and the jackpots, and I feel you, I hear you, I understand it too. Yes, we'll have to go through the legal process of cashing it in like a lottery ticket. We'll have to, all of us. So, will you get $1 million? Well, by the time the taxes and everything's paid, and what you get, I would say is very some natural amounts. Very, very much so. Also that, and what I'm bringing to the table in 2028, the Independent Republican Party. I feel like, through Providence, is saying the Democrat Party is the Benedict Arnolds. They are the Muslims who were not chosen to be in our country for a reason. They are communist. They are socialist. They just want to destroy everything. They do it too. That's the deal. You will have to sign your Constitution. You will have to take a picture for that check. You will have to add your name and everything to the list. Now, I know, like everyone else knows, the Democrats are but a small fraction in our country. The Islamists are but a small fraction in our country. I am bringing other programs out, and it will be very legible, readable, and very exciting for everyone. I'm talking farmers who get to decide where their food goes to feed the American people first. I'm talking programs for the police department and our military, not just drone capabilities. I'm talking metallic armored suits. And you in battle as light as a feather. I'm talking that kind of technology. I'm talking where firefighters can walk in a house fire technology and walk out with whoever they need to, protected even in the fires. I'm talking about that kind of technology for America. Sharia law has no place in the United States Constitution. And you know this. Today I'm dealt with another vision from Providence to speak these words, and I'm going to speak them. America, as you sat playing with the Islamists that it is, you have lost at least 2,000 more children today. To every president, to every politician, shame on yourself. To everyone who calls themselves an American, shame on yourself. Shame on me for allowing such. Shame on me. Even Jesus Christ, shame on. We ought to be standing up for the red, white, and blue. We ought to be fighting for this. This is ours. Why are we letting it go? It's crazy to think. I mean, are we going to be a country like Britain who their king bowed down the crown to Muslims, send out a pamphlet and a book to everyone in Britain, how not to rape women? And there's another and to this. Let's remember what it says. How not to rape women. And sex with underage children are illegal. Let me rephrase that. Sex with underage children is illegal. Now what? Oh, that's okay, right? There is no part of that that mentions it's a crime. In America, every country should be outraged in this. Outrage. It should be punishable by death to rape women. It should be punishable by death to have sex with underage kids, pre-marriage to underage kids. It ought to be your death sentence, America. Wake up, America. That's what this American pastor is telling everyone. This isn't a religious movement. Islam tells you over and over again, it is a constitutional battle. They've already showed you in the history in the past what they're going to do. They're throwing it in America, saying, hey, Americans, woohoo, woohoo. This is what we're fixing to do to you all. We've done it to the other countries, destroyed them, left them a mess, didn't care nothing, ripped the bodies of their dead out of the ground, displayed them, all kinds of garbage. Why are you still playing with it, America? When you have when you already have the means to end it today. 2028. If you Americans decide to put me in that office, I'll tell you the difference. I'll show you the difference. The difference that wakes you up. Ladies and gentlemen, 1461 comes to mind. His name was Vlad the Impaler. Now hear me out. He was a Christian who was raised under Islam. His brother broke. His family and friends and lands disowned him. The Sultan, the number one, sends him back to Wallachia. How many of y'all know the story? Because you're told Dracula was evil. He was mean. He was horrible. But Turkey didn't tell you they were raping all the children. They were raping the wives, using the men as dogs and slaves. They didn't tell you about all that. It wasn't peaceful. You know this. America, if you keep playing with those lines, is what you're coming up with next. Dracula didn't do evil. Dracula didn't do mean. He seen, he watched, and he observed, and he knew what was coming next. It is finally coming out the truth about who King Dracula was in 1400s, 400 years before America. He was the first stance against the Ottoman Empire. The war machine it was. Constantinople he defeated, but he could not take Dracula. Now, hear me out. You see, Britain did the same thing to Dracula that King Charles is doing today. Bowing down. How not to rape your women. You think the Muslims care about that? No, they're told to do it. How not to have sex with underage kids. When they do it. How not to destroy your family. You just bow the knee and do what they tell you to, and everything will be great. They only care about taking you out. You see, that's where Dracula, 1400, seen it, knew it, observed it. When they sent him back to Transylvania or Wallachia, you understand what he had to do next. When the adversaries came to collect the children, the ambassadors they call them, Wasn't nothing nice about them at all. They come with their turbans. He already made his first stance. I'll nail him to your head. He already knew what was coming. Britain would not back him. Rome said, no, we're not going to back you. But you got to understand, Dracula was left as a Muslim seer into the future. The Christian. You see, that's what a lot of you don't get. He didn't start out Christian. Dracula didn't start out a Christian. He's known as a Christian defender, but he did not start out as one. He started out in a religion that hated him, and his peoples hated him for being the last line of defense between Britain and Rome, and they used Dracula. They hated him, according to Brian Strokin and all of them and their other towns, but Romania today loves their Dracula. He did what no one else would ever do. Today, America, are you going to have to do these things? Are you, America, going to have to poison the wells? Are you going to have to burn your crops, America? While you still have the power to stop it where it's at. You have the power to eliminate every Sharia law in court right now. Dracula knew the Sultan. Let's understand Vlad Dracula. I'm going to give you a history lesson. I hope you understand it, because like I said, I come from that bloodline, that ancestry. I feel it. I know it. A lot of people are coming out now saying the same thing. Dracula was not evil. He was not mean. He was fighting. He was released back there to say, hey, you're going to go back and tell your people they're going to die. You're going to die. Yeah, you're going to die. What else do we do if we don't stop them? That was the message. Vlad didn't go back to gold, and he didn't go back to the beautiful royal lands of Wallachia and say, well, we're going to fight the Ottoman Empire. He didn't do that. He was taught to die. He was taught that that is war, and he's being played in a war game. That's what Vlad knew. Because his brother had done broke. His older brother was already in it. He is, oh yeah, I get the good life. I get the good stuff. What ended up happening to Vlad's brother? He is hunted down like a dog. The Ottomans could care less. Buried like a dog in mud. Traitor. Treason to his own peoples. A Benedict Arnold. Because he wanted to see Vlad, the younger son, the younger brother, fell too, because he broke for them. But Vlad had a different plan. Vlad seen it. Vlad realized it. Vlad knew he had the birthright name, and that is what bothered the brother the most. He carried it because Vlad wasn't playing with people. Vlad understood the rules. Vlad got it real good in there. And when you're playing with a monster like that, you know. You back up. You walk away. Even the Ottoman himself couldn't figure out how to get to Vlad. He done the greatest strategy in the world. 20,000 soldiers. Let's remind everyone, those were soldiers and warriors he put and impelled for a reason. While the Muslims are busy gang banging and raping the women and tearing the children apart from every country they can collect it from, Vlad did something different. He went even darker than imaginable. That's somewhere the Sultan couldn't go. That's something that I could not touch. He was used to playing with games, but he never seen a strategy where he had to walk into a town displaying his warriors as the trophies. You see, that hurts your mind for a minute, don't it? That pricks your thoughts and your soul for just a second, doesn't it? When you realize what America is. It hurts your mind to understand that for a minute, what you're listening to. 20,000 warriors. Overnight success. You see, the Sultan used the armies as puppets. But Vlad Dracula used them right. His warriors were already ready. They had to fight in the dark. They had to fight without their eyeballs. They had to understand what it took. His peoples understood what it took to stay free. They poisoned their own wells. They didn't leave food for the Ottomans. They tore their buildings down. They gave him no rest in their country. Muslims have no rest in America right now. Americans, you give them no rest or peace. Because if you do, they're telling you what they're going to do next. You don't leave them in your lands. You don't. Britain said, oh no, Vlad, you're bringing us problems. Rome, no, Vlad, you're bringing us problems. Not freedom, you're bringing us problems, you're bringing us issues. They already know. The Ottoman Empire is on them. He's trying to figure out how to make Wallachia a flat land so he can march his soldiers across there. Learn that terrain well. Vlad used hills to slow his opponents. While he was using hills, he also used trenches to sneak his army right around them. You see, that's the difference, America. You don't have to win a world war outside of our country. It's the infrastructure that you got to have. You got to be that dark. Donald Trump, you got to be that dark. You ask me, if I was face to face with the president today, sitting at the table, I'd look that man in the eye just like it's right here. I know where you come from. I know what you've been through. I've been there. I've been there. When your own people turn on you and you want to just walk away and leave them. When other countries saying, I'd give you everything. And you have to look them back in the eye and realize that's what my people's left behind for me. But I was born in the greatest country of the world. Even when I'm poor, I'm beyond rich. How? You see, that's where somebody like Donald Trump and Vlad the Impaler get it. That's like somebody like me, who's an American pastor and a Christian. We get it. We still stand for Christianity, even when it bows to the Muslims. We know the difference. Even when you think providence, a God eating a God in this war and wars, it's ridiculous. I pray every night and every day, Providence, why are you killing yourself? Why? Why do we need another Dracula? Why do we need another Sultan? When it's just more headaches, wars, and pains. Maybe we're missing the point. Maybe we're missing the point. Maybe we see the problem we refuse to take care of because it's painful. Vlad the Impaler made a point. 20,000 warriors. While the Sultan's saying, I'm eating your women, I'm killing your babies, I'm turning your country into a slave right before your eyes, and the Sultan has to stare at them 20,000 warriors by one man. The Sultan already lost. Isn't that right, Donald Trump? Brother, Mr. President. I love the games, but lives are at stake everywhere. You see, America, you're not. You really need to get this ideologue out of your head. You're not being watched by the world, America. The world is asking you to solve the problem of Islam, America. That's why Britain is idiots. They never owned us. They never could. They like to try to claim they're America's our sister. No, we're not. Britain, you're sitting there bowing to another king. Yeah, we know. We've seen it all. Believe it or not, humans aren't ignorant. You are. Another Joe Biden sitting with a crown on his head in another country nobody wants to have to mess with because you're an idiot. How not to rape your women. Hey, by the way, having sex with underage kids are illegal. No crime, no punishment. But in America, we still have them standards. You better believe it. Like Spain cowering down. All these other countries trying to cower down. We're the last stronghold left. American heritage checks. I'm not paying you. That's the first thing you will understand. The government has taken everything from the peoples. Not deliberately, but to build your infrastructure is key. You see, there's a lot of politicians tonight bowing that knee to Islam and its theologies. A lot of Christians hanging out with their Muslim buddies thinking they're going to convert them. Let me remind you what happens. You are trying to convert a bearded dragon, let's say, not to want to eat you. But if you were the size of a cricket, and in their mind, Christians, you're the size of a cricket, they're still going to eat you if you get in there with them. Even Vlad knew that, America. It doesn't take rocket science to figure it out, what they're coming to do. A lot of great Muslims out here who would convert overnight back to the United States Constitution. A lot of religious people overnight will convert back to what she is, who she is. But you're the problem if you're pansying them. You're the problem if you're giving it to them. You're the problem if you're not standing up these videos like this right here, fighting for you. That's what Vlad knows. That's why, to this day, you see, Ottoman thoughts. Can I give you the last piece of the puzzle everyone misses in the story of Vlad Dracula, 1400s? Can I give you that last piece of the puzzle if you made it this far with me? I'm fixing to give you the last piece of the puzzle you don't see. But you will see it once I tell you, and you'll be able to tell everyone. They never found his body. He meets with the Sultan and his ministers. And it is said that they killed him and put him in a monastery where this high sultan never goes. He never was known to walk into it. When they finally get a chance to look for Vlad Dracula in the 2000s, believe it or not, they were finally able to use infrared, and there was no body there. What happened? Billy the Kid comes to mind, doesn't it? Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid. Well, what are you saying, Dracula? What are you saying, Jesus Christ? What are you saying? The Muslims paid the price more than Vlad did. Vlad's people, they knew it. To this day, they still know it. They know what they're capable of doing. You see, the Muslims want the good stuff and tear it all down. Take it and destroy everything else. That's what Islam loves to do. As much as Jacob and Esau fought. That's right. Esau wanted Jacob dead. Go look it up in your Bibles. The same stories they tell too. You see, Jacob knew better than get around Esau. When they finally meet, Esau is trying to love on Jacob, but there's no love there. None. Because he knew what Esau wanted to do. Cain to Abel. Abel knows what Cain would do to him, given the chance. And he walks away stronger and better than what Cain will ever be. America, you're not the freedom fighters. America, you're not the peacekeepers. America, you got your lands we got to worry about. You don't take your mother to a hospital and find out she's got cancer. And when you find out your mother's got cancer, the first thing you do is put a port in there. You try to open her up, get the cancer out, get that chemo in there. Islam is cancer. And you look around the world today, they prove it. You're not going to get the peaceful Muslims in here because they're so fractured. You see, Christians are very fractured religion, yes, all kinds. But they all come together for the common good. Muslims, Islams, you don't do that. You are so fractured that you kill each other. You're a cancer killing cancer all the time, and you know it. You say, well, I can't be anything else. This is all I've been. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. And let me tell you by providence, I keep praying this. Providence, Jesus Christ, the Spirit, wake these people up inside. Wake them up inside. Let them see who the real God is. God eating God is killing each other, and all of us in the middle. America did something by providence 250 years ago. And I don't believe providence wants it dead or taken it away. I don't believe for a second providence built it to give to the Muslims and the Islamists today. No, I believe providence is saying to America, wake up, take your country back, and get rid of Sharia law. It's going to be a fight and a battle if you don't. You have a blessed day. Thank you for listening. American Pastor 777. American Heritage Check on its way, 2028.